Hey, it's Seema, welcome. I woke up today and things were going the way they usually do. In a good mood, I was having a nice morning, drove my girl to work, and I took a nap and I woke up and it was just horrific what I woke up to. I was just in such a bad mood all of a sudden, and that kind of lingered. And instead of trying to force myself into a better mood, I decided to turn it around. I made space for it, and there's something in that, just creating space for discontent is sometimes the only way to being content again. And I think that's worth talking about. I've spent so much time being at war with myself, seeing things in such a negative light that I'm just kind of over it. My day doesn't have to be defined by my mood in the morning. It doesn't have to be defined by whether or not I had a good night's sleep. Stuff like that, I have the possibility of turning the ship around. So I think very much so that is taking accountability for the way you act, for the way you show up to this beautiful life we live. And maybe you're just in a chronically shitty situation you can't do anything about, and in that case, I have quite a bit to say, I would think. So for those of you who don't know, I am diagnosed with BPD, which means my mood swings they're pretty extreme, to say the least. Yet it doesn't have to have such an impact on my life as I used to think. I think there's a certain beauty in being able to create space for both. Sometimes you have to be in the darkness just a tiny bit to show the light to other people. And this was one of those days. Even though I wasn't in the best of spirits, even though I wasn't in the best of thought patterns, I decided to throw that away and see what I could make of the day anyways. And I have managed to turn that ship around, which isn't always possible. It isn't always possible, but it's important to know yourself enough to find a routine for when you're in that mood, so to speak. And for me, that's very simple. I stopped trying to force my way through things. I stopped trying to change. I just radically accept the situation I'm in. And today that was waking up and feeling horrible. I almost decided not to go to school today or to uni. And I decided to do it anyways. Because I knew if I showed up for myself in that way, I would have just the tiniest win already. So rain always comes before the sunlight is a good way to put it. So I was late for class. I left before class ended, and yet all it took for me to turn it around was just throwing my thoughts, my worries, all the things that mentally would hinder me from having a good day, just crumbling that paper up after having created space for it to exist. And now I'm living a completely different day. If you told me that 2 hours ago, it wouldn't have made sense, but here I am. It's like, why create all these obstacles for yourself? Why create all these reasons as to why you can't have a good day, even if it starts on a bad note? And I guess this is more positive than a lot of things you're used to hearing. You're used to hearing all these voices from different people telling you why you can't do this, why you can't do that. But maybe for once, listen to yourself, listen to what you need, listen to your spirit trying to guide you. That honestly can make the difference. If I were to conform to meeting exactly on time and having this idea of what I was supposed to do and knocking myself over the head when I couldn't meet that expectation, it would leave me in a different mindset than currently. Hold on just a second, my girlfriend is calling and I'm super excited for her to be home again. And now I'm having a great day. This feels like such an exhale. I felt my spirit guide me towards creating this video in case it could help somebody who's kind of stuck, who's having a bad day, anything like that. I guess I want to start a series called Seema Positivity too, where it doesn't have to be so serious all the time. Even this video, I've mispronounced things so many times already. And have you seen me stop yet? Have you seen me start to doubt what I'm saying? Have you seen that? No, I'm so convicted in my message that even though I could let myself have a bad day over all these mistakes, have reasons as to why I couldn't post this, you're still seeing this. You're still seeing this, maybe because you're supposed to. And I do want to thank all of you for showing such positivity when it comes to leaving comments on my videos. I think I've seen one negative one, or one that wasn't necessarily the most positive. And that happens, you know. Sometimes you're just not in a good state of mind, but how you let it affect other people is something you need to be very, very of. You need to take accountability for that. I could focus on some of the negative experiences of today too. I can let you in and let you hear that, so I'm gonna do that. So in my class, there's this one very negative person who, honestly, I don't think they're a good person. Through and through, they act in ways that are malicious all the damn time, and people don't seem to see past that front, you know. But I do, and I could let that stop me. I could let that stop me from acting the way I want to. But maybe I'm supposed to see that person for who they are and letting that be, you know. You don't have to do anything about every single thing in your life. Sometimes you can just let the bad things be bad without trying to change it. I know I can't change that person. I know they wouldn't listen to what I had to say. And that's it. That's all there is to it. I don't need to let that cloud my mind with all these negative thoughts that they would try and impose on me. And I think that is what I've had to say on today's topic of SEMA positivity, you know? So for those of you still listening, I do have one single last thing, which is super simple. Yeah, I think it might be good for you to hear. No, life is too grand. Life is too short for you to be at war with yourself all the damn time. Let yourself live. Let yourself make mistakes. Let yourself live. Let yourself make these mistakes. And try and just ease up a bit. Loosen up. Like, that's it. Anyways, it's been SEMA. Thank you for watching. And I'll catch you on the next one.